fog that came in last night was still hanging about. Well, the fog's kind of lifted off in places, not in others. We'll see what it's like down the track. Not sure if I should have the puffer on or not. It's warm, but it's cold. I'll just work it all out on the way. Oh, did I mention? I don't know if you saw after the last trip, you know the little screws that hold your helmet and visor on? Well, I didn't tighten them up enough regularly and they rattled off. But actually a couple of people reached out to me after they saw I couldn't actually find them. They're not expensive, I just couldn't find any. One guy said he had a spare one. I needed 3. But then Frank from the guys who distribute Bell in Australia said we can get a hold of a set of those for you. So he kindly sent them. So now I can actually adjust my visor and it doesn't flop down in front of my face like it did in the middle of nowhere. Thanks, Frank. Having packed up the tent at first light, I put my backpack and helmet on and headed off into the fog. The plan I came up with last night was to, instead of backtrack to the GPX route about 10 kilometres, was to continue down this road and to try and link up with it by using some of the other tracks I saw on the map. The only thing is, I don't know what the condition of the tracks are like and if they are even passable. Like so many of these dirt roads in valleys I've ridden beside on this journey, they follow the course of a river, stream or creek. There were patches of clear sky appearing, but it looked like there still might be the opportunity for a photo or two before the fog totally cleared away. So I pulled over to see if I could grab a couple. Once I got going again, the fog had all but gone. This was the first turn-off I had to take to try and reconnect with the next GPX route. To a fork in the road. The dirt road continued to the left, but I was going to take what looked more like a dirt track to the right. I came around the corner into another picture postcard valley. The track turned into 2 single tyre tracks. It wasn't filling me with confidence that the track was going to make it all the way through. But it was still showing up on the Gaia map, so onwards I continued. Luckily, as I proceeded further, the track looked like it had been graded not too long ago. I had to keep an eye on the map, as there were a lot of tracks and they all looked very similar. I'm not sure if the charred land is from a bushfire or just a burn-off, as it stops neatly at the edge of the track, which makes me lean more towards a controlled burn-off, as bushfires are way more random with what they burn. The track kicked up again, heading further up the ridge. I have no idea why riding up a winding dirt track, continually turning left, then right, then left again, is so much fun, even if not done at any great speed. I had made it back onto the GPX route, and to a steam engine as well, probably left here from logging back in the day. I continued along the ridge, riding this dirt road through the Tappan Tops National Park and the Bulga State Forest, and still haven't seen anyone else out here. There was still a little fog left up this high. More side tracks. I spotted something on the track. There. It looked like a quoll, which is extremely rare to see in the daytime as they're primarily nocturnal. Quolls eat insects, birds, frogs, lizards, and the larger ones, reptiles and mammals, including echidnas and possums. Interestingly, most quolls have backward-facing pouches, except for the spotted quoll, which has a normal pouch. I had finally made it back onto the tarmac, but I had no idea where I was near. Well, that was epic. Surprising and epic. I don't know how many hours I've been there, maybe a couple. Oh, my eyes are a little watery still because I've taped up the front of the visor. So the visor's got no airflow, so it's fogging up the visor if I keep it down. So I keep it up. It's great, but eye burn. Wow, there's a few animals in there too. Hungry, so I'm going to head back to a town and get some food and keep heading north. Let's see if I can find another trail somewhere off the highway eventually. I started making my way down. There were some very long corners, as the road wound its way down into what I could only assume would be a valley. I came around the corner. I could see a picture-perfect valley to my left, but there were no clearings in the tree to get a decent look, so I kept going a bit further. Finally, I found a place that I could pull over. It actually looked like a bigger scale of the rolling green hills I saw yesterday afternoon. Now, how did it get up here? The Traveller's Rest Hotel, the pub at the foot of the hills. I stumbled onto another random dirt road with small wooden bridges. This road kept winding its way back and forth under the train line. Well, that person thought they needed my side of the road more than me. I had made it onto the old Pacific Highway, then found myself merging onto the new Pacific Highway. I pulled off the highway to refuel and found myself amongst summer traffic. There were vehicles everywhere. I filled up and headed off again. This type of road surface, which is made up of concrete but with those grooves in them, I gather they're there to provide grip in the wet, has a strange effect on the bike. The bike moves around a little, kind of like that looseness you get on light sandy roads. Although the camera has built-in stabilisation, you can sort of see the bike twitching side to side. It is a little unsettling when you think you're on a solid surface. I made it to Coffs Harbour, which always gets clogged up with through traffic during the summer. But I was going to take an alternative dirt route, passing the construction site of the new highway bypass, which couldn't come soon enough. Well, there's some crazy Pacific Highway summer traffic for you. It's actually a 32-minute delay through getting through Coffs Harbour. Luckily they're building that bypass. But I found another GPX file, well I found it earlier, and I've always thought behind Coffs Harbour there had to be some pretty epic trails. So, no idea who created this one, but hopefully it's a bit of fun. And I was going to wait an extra half an hour anyway, so this sort of goes zigzags back up to the northern side of Coffs Harbour. I think up near a cool surf spot, Arawara. This first track looks promising, so we'll see how we go. I started climbing. The further I went up, the steeper it got. If you're interested in exploring around this area, check out Big Coast Adventures on YouTube. He's filmed a lot of rides in the region. I'll leave a link in the description below. I reached the top, so back down I went. Which had me riding into an area that had been logged. Up again and back into bushland. It definitely was a logging area, but I didn't come across anyone or any equipment. I had climbed quite a lot, and it looked like I was going to descend all that height gain in one very steep descent. I then popped out onto a road. I pulled over as I seemed to have lost the route. Where I came out of the dirt track, I should have turned left. Instead, I had turned right, but it looked like I could pick up the route again if I kept going straight for a bit. So I rode in that general direction. Well, there's the same dirt bike as mine. I was back onto the route, and it had me turn off here into a state forest. Let's see what this track has in store. I was getting the feeling that whoever created this GPX file was probably on a more enduro type bike. Came to a junction where a heap of tracks merged. The map said to go up the steep hill in front of me, but I decided to make my own path towards the beach. just like that, I'd gone from a dirt track to the suburbs. I had arrived at Arrawarra, and there was a little wave running down the point. How surprising was that? Riding through trail, popped out among houses. Not a bad spot. At the back is trails, at the front is surf. And Arrawarra, it is a gorgeous little bay. It's pretty idyllic, really. I mean, it does get a decent kind of wave once there's a big swell, but otherwise it's a longboard wave. But there's beaches everywhere along here with great waves. We do have a very large storm building up behind me, and that is going to hit the whole of the east coast, and apparently it's going to last a week. I'm a couple hours from home. We might have to call this one. I'm going to head off. The GPX files have been epic. It's been a lot of fun. Gets me thinking for next time. I rode out of the point and back onto the highway, keeping an eye on the storm to my left as it chased me from behind up the coast. It had been an epic ride, taking dirt alternative tracks instead of the highway. Although it took a lot longer to get down to Torquay and back, it was totally worth it. And I was surprised how many awesome tracks there are along winding rivers. I can only imagine there are so many more out there to explore. Until next time, I am lucky enough to get back onto a bike. Have fun out there. Thanks for watching the series. I am planning on another one. I haven't left yet, so it will be a few more weeks before I can start uploading that. And then hopefully the YouTube algorithm will share it with you once I start uploading. I still have no idea how that algorithm works. Another thing is, after roaming around Australia and seeing I've got a university degree as a graphic designer, I thought I should probably use it sometime in my life. I decided to create a poster for the series. That's it there. If anybody's interested, it's on the new online store. I'll leave a link below. Also, if you're a photographer, after riding about 70,000 kilometers with the one camera gear on my back, I finally had my 70-200 G Master lens, well, we'll say rattle apart from the vibrations of the road, so the elements don't line up anymore. So just know if you're taking gear out there, eventually it's gonna probably wear out. Well, that's all from me. Until next time.